Good morning students. I am glad that we have completed the 4 subtense of the main tense present tense. You can see in this chart students that I have circled them all. You can see on your left side that present tense is the main tense, and you can see simple tense, continuous tense, perfect tense and perfect continuous are the subtenses. So, we have completed 4 subtenses: present simple, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay. Today we will begin the first subtense of the main tense, which is past tense. Okay. You can also say it as a fifth tense, which is past simple tense. Now what is past simple tense? What's the use? Let's look at it. Past simple tense. This tense is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. Means an action that has already happened or is finished in past. Okay? Before now. Okay? Next point says the time of the action can be in the recent past or distant past. Now students, we all know recent past means something that just happened a short time ago, and distant past means something that happened a long time ago. Let's look at some examples for more clarity. You can see all the different examples here. Let's look at one example like it snowed last night, and other example, John Lennon died in 1980. Can you students see the two examples which I have circled in red color in the picture to your right? Okay. Now in both examples we can see that action started in the past is also completed in the past, like it snowed, it is done. Okay, it's not happening right now. And John Lennon also died. You can see both are done in the past. Along with that students, also notice that one happened last night. You can see it snowed last night, which means recent past. And the other talks about distant past, like 1980 is a long time ago, right? So both are correct because both indicates that it started in the past and finished before the present moment. Hope this is clear students. There are few more examples you can see in this picture which will give you more clarity. I'll give you a minute for that to have a look at other examples. Okay students, hope this is clear. So let's now look at its form. Form or sentence structure for past simple tense is subject plus second form of verb, that is V2, plus object, right? Now second form of verb means the past tense, right? Past form of verb. So students, we all know also that there are regular verbs and irregular verbs, right? When we talk about past simple tense, here in past simple tense, the second form of verb V2, also we will talk about regular verbs and irregular verbs. So regular verbs in past simple tense are created adding ed, d, y, cvc to the base form of verb. Now what is that? Let's look at examples one by one. So the first says watch plus ed equals to watched. Now mostly we will use ed only in regular verb. I am talking about the regular verb right now. So mostly here the verbs, the second form of verb is created by adding ed to the base form of verb mostly. Okay. There are other regular verbs also. Let's have a look at it. Second is live plus d equals to lived. Now you can see here I have just added d. Why is that so? Because if you notice the word live, L-I-V-E, already has e at the end. So there is no need to add another e to it. Understood the difference? So we will here simply add d letter. So live plus d equals to lived. Okay, hope this is clear, students. Do not get confused. There are many words like that. Okay. Third is cry equals to cried. Now students, we have already covered about this spelling, this particular spelling rule before also. If you remember, I told you that if the verb, the main verb is ending with letter Y, and if before Y there is a consonant, then what you have to do is you remove the letter Y and you add simply IED to it. So here in this word also you can see that this word cry, okay, it's ending with letter Y, and before Y there is a consonant R. So what we have simply done is we have removed Y and we have added IED to it. So it becomes cried. Okay. Then there is fourth one, stop equals to stopped. Now you must have heard about this many a times. There are many words like that, right? So you know CVC method, what is it? I am sure you know. Let's revise once again. Now here you can see that there is the word verb, the main verb stop, and when it comes to second form of verb it becomes stopped. Why not we have added ed, e or y to it or ied to it? Let's look at it. You can see the verb stop is ending with letter P, P. So P is a consonant, and in this kind of CVC method what we do is we do not start looking the verb from the beginning but from the end part. So end letter of the verb stop is P. P is a consonant. Before P we can see O, letter O, which is a vowel. You also know the difference between vowel and consonant. Vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and rest of the letters are consonant. Okay? So P is consonant, before that is O, which is a vowel, and again before O there is T, which is again a consonant. So can you now notice CVC method here? PC, P is consonant, O is vowel, and T is C. So CVC method. So whenever you see such kind of words, students, the main base form of verb ending with CVC, what you do is you repeat the last letter. You can see in the answer that I have repeated the letter P, okay, and then you add simply ed to it. So it gives you stopped, S-T-O-P, stop, plus repeat the letter P plus ed, stopped. Understood? Okay. So these are your regular verbs in past simple tense, okay, and there are also irregular verbs. Now you just notice some of the examples I am giving over here. Go becomes went, see becomes saw, and bend becomes bent. Now students, when you see the examples of irregular verbs here, you can see that there is no pattern going on over here. Some are changing little bit, like see becomes saw, so it is easy for you, right? And some changes completely, like go becomes went, no connection, okay. So there is no pattern or no formula or rule for this. You have to simply memorize them, okay. But do not worry, it's also easy. You just need to remember this chart, okay. So these are your second form of verb rules, okay. Now let's again look at the, now we will go towards forming the positive or affirmative sentences in past simple tense. So what is it? Subject plus V2 plus object. Okay, let's look at its chart for the regular verbs first. Now students, I want to quickly look at the table and see what's the difference here. Like in last 4 tense we were following something, and here you will see the difference. What is it? Yes, can you notice the subjects? In all previous 4 we were dividing like I, you, we, they, if the first person and the second person, right? He, she, so he, she, it, both had different ways to use. Okay, there were different verbs or different be forms to use with first person and second person. Here you will see that subject I, you, we, they, he, she, it, all will use the same form of verb V2 when it comes to regular verb in past simple tense. So you can see that I have put a common V2 form watch here. Watch is the base form plus ed. I have added ed and highlighted it in red color. So you get watched. So watched is your V2 form. So even if the subject is I, you, we, they or he, she, it, we use the same V2 form of verb watched in regular verbs. Understood, student? This is clear to you? So you get positive or affirmative sentences as I watched, you watched, we watched. Now see, it's not watched, watched. The sound should come, but it shouldn't like little not with the, you don't have to press it more. Okay. So I watched, you watched, we watched, they watched, he watched, she watched. Can you see the pronunciation and modulation? So these are your positive or affirmative sentences in regular verbs. Let's also take one example from irregular verb, students. I have just taken example of go, which becomes went when it comes to V2. Same way, if the subject is I, you, we, they, he, she, it, we use went with it. Okay. So you get I went, you went, we went, they went, he went, she went. Okay. Great, easy, right? This is very easy in fact. You don't have to remember different V2 forms or any kind of other forms for different kind of subjects. All are using the same thing. Okay, great. So now let's look at the negative structure forming negative sentence. So it is subject plus did. Now did is the past tense of helping verb do. Here we use the word helping verb do. Okay, past tense of helping verb do. So it is did, and then we add not to it, and then we do not add here V2, but we add base form of verb V1. You need to remember, in like it is not like the previous 4 tense we learned. Here positive, negative and affirmative, interrogative, you need to remember the these formulas. Okay. So here when it comes to negative sentence, we use the first form of verb plus object. So what it is, let's see. For the regular verb, if the subject is I, you, we, they, he, she or it, now see this will remain same. You use did with it first of all, which is the past tense of the verb do, helping verb do. Then you add not to make it negative, and you use first form of verb. I am not used watched V2 here, I have used V1 first form of verb. Okay? So you get negative sentences. I did not watch. Now again I have used contraction here. Did plus not becomes didn't. Remember the pronunciation, it is not did not, it is didn't. Okay, repeat after me once again, didn't. Okay, it should clearly sound. Okay, I didn't watch, you didn't watch, we didn't watch, they didn't watch, he didn't watch, she didn't watch. Understood, students? This is very easy. Now let's look at the same thing in irregular verbs. Here I am taking again example of go. Now here also go will not change to went, we will use V1 only. So subject will remain same, I, you, we, they, he, she, it, and for all the subjects you will use did, the past tense of helping verb do, then you add not to it, and then you add V form V1, which is base form of verb go. So you get negative sentence. I did not go. I didn't go. You didn't go. We didn't go. They didn't go. He didn't go. She didn't go. Clear, students? Very easy. So now let's look at the interrogative sentences. The form for it is this thing we know that we use the did, the past tense of helping verb do in the beginning, then we add subject to it. Then here also, like negative, we will use first form of verb plus object and the question mark at the end. So let's look at the regular verbs. Did in the beginning, you can see that I have highlighted did, and I have also highlighted question mark at the end because these two are important to remember when you are making interrogative sentences, and did should be with the capital letter D. Okay. So subject will remain same, and for all the subjects the verb will also remain the same, first form of verb watch. So you can see, you can get you are getting the sentences as did I watch, did you watch, did we watch, did they watch, did he watch, did she watch. You can see the modulation pronunciation, right? It is in a question form. Okay, great. Let's look at it in irregular verb. We will use go only, the V1 form. So you get did I go, did you go, did we go, did they go, did he go, did she go. Understood, students? This is very easy. If you just need to remember that in past simple tense only we have to use V2 and in V2 form of verb, okay, and subject for all the subjects V2 will remain same, and there are regular and irregular verbs separately. You have to manage that. You need to remember all irregular verbs, right? Memorize them. And for interrogative and for negative, we add V1 form of verb as because we are using the past tense of helping verb do over here. Understood, students? Very easy. I will be sending you the exercise of the same. Hope you enjoy doing the exercise and get all correct. All the best. Have a great day.